Hello, in this video we are going to look at loops. Loops essentially are a method, or not a method, a piece of functionality within Python and many other programming languages that allow you to essentially iterate over code again and again and again and again. So that's it really. It just allows you to loop over the same code again and again and again. So without having to, repeat that code, let's say potentially 100,000 plus times. So what we're going to do is create something very simple. We're going to create a var1 equals, I don't know, hello world. And then the format of a loop, there's actually a couple of different types of loops. The first one is for, so you just do for, and now there's two parts to this. First, just write in. I'll explain in a second what the in is. So the left hand side is what you're essentially getting from the right hand side. So the right hand side you can think of that like the object, like a string or a list or like a dictionary, or something along those lines, some sort of sequence essentially. And now what we're going to do is put the string name, so var1, and so for letter, actually it might be a character potentially. So for character in var1, character is just a name that we made up. So for every character in var1, that's what this is doing. And you just put a colon, and then here, make sure it's indented, very similar to decision making. Just put a print, and we are going to print the letter. So in the character, now click run and see what we get. There we go. We are now done. So it says hello world. So you can also iterate using sequence indexes as well. So you can essentially provide a index for a particular sequence, such as a list, for example. And you can do that as you normally would in many other languages. So the next loop we're going to look at is the while loop. So the while is sort of similar to the for loop, and the while loop is essentially saying while something is true, then do this bit of code. So if we do while, so just, you can enclose this in brackets as well. I don't recommend closing in brackets. So while, let's say for creating a variable var2 equals 100. So while var2 is less than 200, let's do less than 110. Less than 110, do colon, and what we're going to do is print. We're simply going to print out less than 110. But what we're going to do is at the end of each while loop, we are going to do var2 plus plus. So this will actually increment our, now let's do this operator, the one we've already learned about. So we are going to increment it by 1 at the end of each loop. So we'll have a run, see what result we get. Okay, we got a problem, definitely line 6. What have I done? I've made a mistake somewhere. Let me just try and figure this out. Line 6, line 6. I think it's this. You can't actually have brackets. I mean, that's just my bad. Okay, there we go. Hello world, and then less than 110, 110, and then eventually stops because it gets to above 110. And as the next task here, you can print off the value of var2 at the end, and maybe inside the while as well. So another thing that you can do is attach a else statement. So essentially, when this isn't true, we could print off something else. So we could say print not less than 110. So if we run it, see what we get. So we get not less than 110 at the end. So when this condition is no longer true, so that could actually occur straight away. So if I were to change this value as an extra task, I'm going to do this. We'll change this value to 120. Then this isn't true, from the start. So the else will get called. So that's it for loops. You'll be using loops all over the place. You'll be using them everywhere. You can also nest loops. So within like a for loop, you could do another for loop, or you could do another while loop. You can nest like quite a lot of things. Like with decision making, you could nest if statements inside if statements, and if inside an else if, etc., etc. As long as they're properly indented, you could nest an if statement within a loop. You could nest a loop inside of an if statement, and so forth and so forth. And this is just the wonderful world of loops. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next loopy video.